Excuse me, Judge. Excuse me, Judge.
Yes.
Just before you start this hearing, I was going, because I see the witnesses on. Mr. Snyder, the one Mr. Toles was asked for a continuance, so he's a co-defendant to Mr. Moses. So I just didn't know if you were gonna move them both, then you still got a witness on for that one if you want to let him go or her go. I'm not sure.
So, and what's the what defendant are you referring to?
I have
Mr.
Mr.
Moses, Malik Moses, Judge.
Okay, and what about Moses?
Can we put them both on the same day? Moses,
Another co-defendant?
yes,
Okay.
ma'am. We had a bunch of them today.
He was
Okay.
a co-defendant to Snyder.
To Snyder, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and so we will move Moses to 1119.
A network jack?
Say that again?
I apologize. Someone was speaking to me.
Deputy Bell.
I'm here.
Deputy Bell.
I'm here.
Okay, your cases are going to be moved to the 19th. The defenses has a the defendant on one of your cases got sent back because he couldn't behave.
I heard him earlier.
Okay, cool. So, do you have any conflicts with that date?
No, ma'am.
Okay, cool. We'll see you back on November the 19th. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And just to make sure, Mr. Smith has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 charges. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Let me double check because I know he has quite a few.
Attorney Rafus, is that your understanding? 5 charges? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, ma'am. That's what I have.
All right. All right, so now calling the matter of State of Georgia versus Donnie Smith. The inmate before me has acknowledged that he is in fact Donnie Smith. This is the preliminary hearing. This is warrant number 2025 CW 56796. That's reckless driving. 2025 CW 56797. Public violation of public oath. 2025 CW 56798. Failure to make a report. 2025 CW 56799, hit and run. 2025 CW 56800, homicide by vehicle. Representing the state is ADA Thomas. Representing the defendant is Attorney Devin Rafus. Your witness, ADA Thomas.
Yes, Your Honor. Trooper, could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that the evidence you should give before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can put your hand down, state your name for the record.
Corporal Joseph Vincent.
And Corporal, how are you employed?
I am an investigator with the Georgia State Patrol Specialized Collision Reconstruction Team.
And were you employed in that capacity on or about August the 17th, 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you have occasion to respond to an incident that occurred on I-285 near Riverdale Road?
Yes.
And would that be within the confines of the city of Riverdale, Clayton County?
Yes.
And did that investigation involve a Donnie Smith?
Yes.
And what happened at that location involving Mr. Smith?
Should I just start from the beginning of how I was notified or just explain what happened?
Yes.
Okay, so an incident took place August 17th around 7:30 in the morning involving the defendant. A pursuit was initiated by a Bolo, a stolen Land Rover, a suspected stolen Land Rover. Sergeant Smith, at the time, the defendant got behind this stolen Land Rover and activated his blue lights. The vehicle refused to stop and a chase ensued. The vehicle made a right turn from Riverdale Road onto I-285. Sergeant Smith continued in this pursuit. He did not have a siren activated. He did not notify the dispatch or anyone that he was in the chase. He simply was just following behind this vehicle with blue lights down 285. The defendant continues to pursue for a little while on 285. He deactivates his emergency equipment, slows down, and then continues behind the Land Rover, a visual distance behind the Land Rover where you can still see it in his dash cam. The Land Rover is continuing to flee and elude this marked patrol car at high speeds, loses control, travels off the right side of the roadway, hits
Wait
a
a minute, let me
tree.
stop you right here. Who
Okay.
lost control? The vehicle
The
being pursued?
correct, the vehicle being pursued, the Land Rover lost control due to their high speed.
Okay,
And they hit a tree. It split the Land Rover in half. Both occupants were ejected and were killed. The pursuing officer, Sergeant Smith, our defendant, drove by the collision scene. It appeared that a sound of laughter was emitting from inside the vehicle, the police vehicle. And then the sergeant continued past the crash scene, did not notify anybody of this accident, and continued to the city, back to the city.
so he was not, wait a minute, I'm okay. This was not an official chase,
No, so
pursuit.
he was in violation of the Georgia emergency vehicle law. So he was not he didn't have his lights and siren activated, which didn't make him an emergency vehicle. You have to have both activated to become an emergency vehicle. He
Just the
didn't.
lights.
You have to have lights and siren activated.
No, I'm saying, but he only had lights.
Correct. He did not notify his dispatch or his communication room that he was in a pursuit, that he
Okay,
was involved in an accident, that someone had ran off the roadway, and none of that. He never notified anybody of this event. So I was made aware of this event by his command staff. So Clayton County worked this incident as a single vehicle fatality. They did not, or a single vehicle double fatality. They did not know anyone else was involved. Clayton County, the Clayton County Police Chief contacted Major Marcus Denard with the College Park Police Department and said, "Hey, one of your officers may be involved in this collision, and we know so because of flock camera footage."
okay.
So flock camera footage shows that vehicle in that area near the Range Rover. So Major Denard looked at dash cam footage. You know, he was going through this officer's dash cam footage to see if anybody was involved and found a video listed under a false title that showed this pursuit.
When you say a video listed under a false title, what do you mean?
So Major Denard stated he did not tell me what the title was, the false title, but it wasn't a pursuit or an accident or anything like that. It's almost as if it was listed as something to cover up the video from what it was. That's how it was explained.
So let me make sure I understand how this worked. The video is on the car. It's dash cam, correct?
Correct.
But it was not labeled properly.
It was not labeled properly as to conceal it. That's what the major with College Park told me. So College Park called me in because this was an administrative policy violation issue. It was a state law violation issue, and they wanted GSP to come work this to remain transparent.
Okay. And is
And
that how you became involved?
it is. Major Denard with College Park called me into College Park Police Department. I had a meeting with him and the command staff for College Park Police Department. They sat me down in an interview room. They showed me this dash cam footage and they asked what I thought. And again, the dash cam footage shows several violations, several traffic violations because he's not an emergency vehicle at that point. You know, he's speeding and in and out of traffic, and he's not considered an emergency vehicle. But the vehicle was fleeing and eluding a marked patrol car. Um, but the issue lies is that once the accident took place, there was nothing done at that point. So Sergeant Smith was involved in this accident. He left the scene. He did not notify anybody. He did not render aid to the individuals in the deceased individuals, and he just left and did not notify anybody until he was later discovered by his command staff.
So at no point in time did he ever call dispatch and say, hey, there's been an accident, I saw it, or nothing like that?
No, and the video camera footage is audio and video recorded, so you can hear any audio that would have taken place, and nothing of the sort was heard, other than an audible male voice towards the end that sounded like laughter.
Okay, and that is clearly audible to you on that recording?
Correct. So as the officer passes by the crash scene, you can hear a laughter, and then he just continues to the city of Riverdale. He actually cuts off a tractor trailer as he's you know, trying to quickly exit onto the Riverdale exit from I-285.
Do you know how the crash was discovered?
Clayton County Police Department got a call to a single vehicle fatality. So the crash was discovered. I guess some witnesses called it in and said, hey, there's this crash on the interstate. Clayton County PD got called out, and they just thought it was a single vehicle. Nothing, no one else involved.
What was the condition of the victims at the time?
Both occupants were ejected, deceased, with a witness described brain matter from both of their heads.
Was it a possibility they could have survived had it been reported timely?
I do not know the answer to that.
But there's no indicia that this sergeant ever made any effort to try to render aid or anything like that?
No, ma'am. And again, in fact, he tried to leave the scene abruptly. It was, you know, he laughed, accelerated his Ford Explorer past a tractor trailer, cut it off to exit at the Riverdale exit.
And all of that is on the camera also?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let me ask you something about this camera. Is it continuously rolling, or does it activate due to something like, say, you turn on your lights?
Oh, yes, ma'am. So the camera starts when there's a delay prior, and it just depends on what the agency sets up their delay. But once you hit that light activation switch, it starts recording maybe 30 seconds prior to that.
So when he turned on his lights, even though he did not turn on his audible, the siren, that's when it started recording?
Yes, ma'am.
And he couldn't have stopped that if he wanted to?
He could have, I believe, but I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know their department's camera system.
Okay. And just in case I forgot to ask before, let me ask you now, where is that recording now?
The recording is in possession of the College Park Police Department. However, I do have a copy.
Okay. Can you hear anything else being said or anything other sounds on the recording other than the laughter at the end?
You can hear the acceleration of the vehicle. That's how I was able to confirm that no other communication, you know, human communication was happening, because you can still hear the vehicle's exhaust or engine noises. You can still hear some things inside the car shaking around, but you only hear one audible male voice towards the end. And again, it appears to be laughter such as ha ha ha.
Okay.
And then he drives off. And Clayton County again, or I'm sorry, College Park said, "Hey, we want you to take criminal charges." I then got with the Clayton County District Attorney's Office and presented them with this case, and was advised to take the charges that were listed today.
Okay, which is what brings you here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, was the city of College Park, I believe it was,
Yes.
His agency, were they able to confirm that he was a sworn officer at the time of this incident?
Yes, ma'am. And on this date that I was brought in, he was, I believe, placed on administrative leave at that time.
Okay. And do you know if he's still on administrative leave or what his status is?
I would not know, no, ma'am. I believe he was terminated, but I do not know the details.
Okay. And at no point in time did he initiate any type of contact with dispatch to let them know that he was involved in anything?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, in 1 second, I'm going through my notes just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, here's one thing. You indicated that after leaving the scene of the accident, he cut off a transfer truck.
Yes, ma'am.
Could that have placed that driver's life in danger also?
Yes, ma'am. It's possible.
And all of this that we've been talking about, you also have him charged with violation of oath of office. Why is that?
Because it is the duty of a law enforcement officer to render aid or to, give assistance to the public.
Did that happen in this incident?
It did not. No, it's our job to just to help the public in any capacity, and that this did not take place. No.
He didn't even bother to stop.
No, ma'am.
Were you all able to make contact with the transfer truck driver, the one that was cut off?
I have tried to. I've reached out to the company of the tractor trailer well, first off, the vehicle can't be identified by the dash cam video, unfortunately. You can't make out tag numbers or anything. However, there were some identifiable images on the side of the trailer that I was able to use. I reached out to the company, but they have pretty much ghosted me. They're not going to tell me anything about that vehicle.
But you can see what the sergeant did on the video.
Yes, ma'am, very clearly.
The driving.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell if the transfer truck had to slam on brakes or anything like that?
He did have to make an evasive maneuver, but I'm not sure how abrupt that was.
And when you say he had to make an abrasive maneuver, you're talking about the driver of the transfer truck?
Yes, yes. And Sergeant Smith actually entered into the gore. He almost missed the exit, but he entered into the gore as he was exiting, which is just the solid painted triangles right there, that you see near exits.
Okay. And you can clearly see that also on the video.
Yeah, the video is extremely graphic. I mean, it's great. It's a great video. Unfortunately, you just can't make out tag numbers, but the audio and the video quality is pretty good.
Okay. I think that covers everything. Sure. And was College Park or anyone able to determine whether or not any type of report was ever filed on this?
The only report that was filed by College Park Police Department was a stolen vehicle report. So it was confirmed that the vehicle that Sergeant Smith chased was in fact stolen. A report had been made earlier that morning. And I'm not sure what their chase policies are, but I would assume that he would be, if
Sergeant Smith do anything? Did he ever file a report for anything?
Oh, no, ma'am, no. But a report
Not even that he had found this stolen vehicle?
No, he didn't do that.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that's all I have reserved right for redirect.
All right, any cross-examination?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good. Is it not morning anymore? Good afternoon, Corporal. My name's Devin. I'm just gonna ask a couple of follow-up questions.
Okay.
I understand that you said that you had the video. It sounds like the video is gonna be the crux of this case if it captured everything, correct?
It did, yes, sir.
All right. Going back to I want to try and take it chronological. It's easier for me to understand it that way. So it is confirmed that there was a bolo out for the Range Rover that I guess Sergeant Smith had encountered at the beginning of this whole thing, correct?
Yes, sir.
When Sergeant Smith encountered that stolen Range Rover, you're saying that there was no dispatch records or anything that he said, "Hey, I see it," or confirm or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. Once Sergeant Smith saw the Range Rover, that's I guess when the video starts, when he initiates his lights, his blue
So,
lights.
so the Range Rover, so you can see the video come on as Sergeant Smith is starting to turn around. So commonly in these watch guard videos, they'll record 30 seconds prior to the blue light activation. So it'll give you a little bit what happened before that. So I'm not exactly sure on the timeline what their camera systems are set up as far as that pre-recording, but commonly that's how they work. They'll give you a piece of pre-recording. So in the video, you see him turning around, catching up to the vehicle, then lights come on as he gets behind it.
Got it. Okay. Once the lights came on, is that when it appeared that the Range Rover sort of bolted and took off?
Yes.
Okay. About how long do you think that the chase was from that point before the Range Rover crashed?
Few minutes. I don't have an exact time, but a few minutes.
Okay. That's once Sergeant Smith, well, let me ask you this way, because I can't remember your testimony. Does Sergeant Smith take off after the vehicle as soon as it sort of bolts away?
Yes.
At some point, I think you testified there's no sirens, it's just the lights that are on, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
At any point during the chase, does Sergeant Smith turn off the lights?
Yes, he turns off the blue lights. It appears, and this is just my opinion, but it appears as if he is discontinuing the pursuit.
Okay. And I know you said you don't have an exact time frame, but just rough estimate until we get the video. Is that about halfway through, towards the
About
end? About
Yep,
halfway.
about halfway through. Yep, he appears to discontinue pursuit, but then continues to increase his speed back to about 115 plus to maintain a visual distance on the Range Rover.
Okay. And that was what my question, because I think at some point you said, I think I heard you testify that Sergeant Smith eventually backs away, almost like
Yeah.
lets off the gas or sort of lets the vehicle continue
Yes.
up at some point. But
Yes.
based on your review of the camera of the video, he makes sure not to lose visual or sight of the Range Rover up ahead.
I'm not sure if that was his intent or not, but you can see the Range Rover in the vehicle the entire time, and he's also increasing his speed as to not lose it.
Gotcha. About how far up is the Range Rover when he's maintaining that visual that you testified to? About how far up? I mean, we talking quarter mile, couple car lengths?
Probably about a quarter mile.
Okay. Once the accident happens, can you see the accident happen on the dash cam that you've reviewed?
Yes, you can see a large. So Sergeant Smith is and the pursuing vehicle or the pursuing the Land Rover is going towards sunset or sunrise. I mean, it was about 7:30 in the morning, something like that. So they were heading towards the sun. Well, in the video, you can see a large dirt smoke cloud cover the sky and in that sunlight. So you can see that. And then as he comes up to the scene, you can see two halves of a vehicle and some smoke.
Okay. But you can't see, as I understand it, we can't see exactly how the Range Rover crashed. We just see sort of the aftermath of it. Like, did the Range Rover hit another car and that's how
No.
it speared off, or did it lose control off on the side? Or can you see
Yeah.
exactly how the crash happened?
I know exactly how it happened because I reconstructed this accident already. But you can see tire marks and everything leaving the roadway. The vehicle tried to exit towards 75 in Riverdale, but was going too fast and started rotating sideways and then went off into the trees.
I see. And that was done because you're part of the CRT team. You reconstructed all that to determine, okay. Is there any indication that Sergeant Smith's vehicle had any impact or connection with the stolen Range Rover?
No.
So it wasn't, and just to be clear, it wasn't Mr. Smith's vehicle that, so what we think about when I hear an accident, didn't bump into it or any sort of pit maneuver or anything. It was based upon, I guess, the high speed of the Range Rover losing control when it was running away. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Once the accident happened, there were a couple of witnesses on scene. I imagine. Well, let me ask: do you know who those people were? Were those just drivers that were near the area when they saw the accident happen?
Yeah, every witness that I've interviewed did not witness the accident take place. They simply arrived after the fact and rendered aid. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm assuming it was one of those people that were on scene that had called 911.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned the acceleration that you could hear acceleration of the vehicle in the dash cam. Was that just throughout the video, or was there certain points and times where you heard it?
You could see, so in this dash cam video, there was a speed at the top left. You could hear the acceleration, the engine, and you could also watch the speed at the same time accelerating. So you could tell that way that it was an accurate representation of what was happening.
Gotcha. It was two people that were involved that were in the Range Rover that were in the crash, right?
Yes, a white female and a black male.
Okay. Were either of those two individuals taken to a hospital afterwards?
I do not know the answer to that. I'm assuming and forgive me for assuming, but I believe that the Clayton County Medical's offices got them.
Okay. And the reason I ask is I guess I was just curious. The way you described it, it almost sounded like it was a dead-on impact scenario. Where does I know you testify a little bit about where Mr. Smith sort of drives up to immediately after. Is there any indication or way that you could have followed to see where he went for the rest of that day? Did he go back to the station or do anything differently?
So I tried to continue to follow his vehicle using flock cameras, and I was unable to see at that time, but I believe there is a way that College Park Police Department can maybe track his GPS. I'm not sure yet, but he returned back to College Park afterwards, according to his command staff.
Okay. And as far as how Clayton County, you testified, contacted College Park Police Department and said, hey, we saw this vehicle on our flock camera, I guess close in time to, or was it just pictures? Or I know, as I understand it, flock can do sometimes some video, but how is it that they caught the vehicle?
I can't testify on anything other than the major said he was made aware by that officer due to flock cameras. I have no idea what process they used or what pictures they actually saw.
Okay. And then regarding the actual dash cam, do you know if there's ways to delete video as an officer in your experience? Or can you delete videos of dash cams or body cams?
I suppose you could, yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't know about his particular. I've never done it, to be honest. I have no idea. So
sure. With regards to the labeling of the video, so we're only going off what the major of College Park said, that it just wasn't labeled properly. Is that correct?
well, the major told me it was labeled so as to conceal it, is the impression that he got. So he was notified of this, I believe, the night of August 17th, and it took him a day or two to go through all these videos to actually find this particular video because it was mislabeled.
Okay. We'll just have to, obviously the majors will be able to give us more information. Do you know if the majors provided a report or anything in your investigation?
He has not provided me anything that College Park has done. I've requested that, but it is an internal investigation. I'm not sure if I'll get it or not.
Okay. That would be, though, relevant to the prosecution of this case, though, correct? As far
Is-
as the handling of the evidence or the video.
How I got that video?
Oh, that's right. You do have a copy. Sorry, I was under the impression for a second that you didn't. Sorry. So you did get a
Yeah.
copy from College
Yeah.
Park.
Yes.
Okay. Um, did you, in reviewing and in sort of investigating, did you get any background as far as knowing how long Mr. Smith was in law enforcement for?
No, sir.
Okay. When you said that you believe he was terminated at this point, what makes you say that?
Um, so I got a call from another agency saying that he was seeking employment there and that they could execute my arrest warrant if I needed them to. So
Got it.
the fact that he was seeking another employment opportunity just leads me to believe that he was terminated.
The arrest warrant that you took out, so was that a couple days or well after the actual incident?
It was a couple weeks afterwards. Again, I wanted to get with the DA's office. All these charges, College Park PD and the DA's office told me what to charge him with. I just said, "Hey, look, I have this video. What do you think?"
Right.
And because I didn't, I was called in because this was obviously a huge policy violation for College Park PD. They thought there had been Georgia law that was violated. I brought this to the DA's office to say, "Hey, was law violated?" And this is this is where we are today with these charges. I believe that there were several traffic violations, that happened. There were several Georgia law violations that happened, but I wanted to confirm what I was thinking with the DA's office and everybody. So,
What with regards to the DA's office, was there a particular prosecutor that you were in contact with regarding this case?
yes, I can.
And then while you're looking for that, I'll just ask another question. Did you get any statements from Mr. Smith?
Yeah, and I'm gonna object. The defense counsel asked the officer to consult his notes regarding an answer, and then is gonna follow that immediately with another question. Can he let the officer consult his notes, respond to that previous question, and then move on to the next one?
That's fine, yes,
Um,
if you would give him the opportunity.
It'd be just a second. I apologize. ADA John Murray.
Thanks, sir. And then that second question I asked, did you get any statements from Mr. Smith?
I did not.
Okay. Did you attempt to?
I attempted to get a statement made from Sergeant Smith from his command.
Okay, is that when they were interviewing him about the policy violations and things like that once they learned
Yeah.
what happened?
Yes. I
Okay.
attempted to get that information, but I have not been given it.
Okay. That during that interview, that could potentially be Garrity issues as far as that goes, correct?
Yes, but I'm not sure what was read to him or not.
Yeah. Okay. Last question, I'm wrapping it up here. Is the oath of office, the same, the oath that law enforcement takes, is it the same across the board, no matter what agency you're with, or is it differ depending on who your employer is?
I do not know the answer to that.
Have you seen the certificate? Because I know you, as an officer, when you take your oath, you sign and saying what oath you've taken. Have you seen what oath Mr. Smith has taken?
I have not.
So we don't know. I mean, obviously, other than just assuming that an officer is part of the oath to help the public, we don't know exactly what words were issued in that statement that he took and that oath that he took. Okay.
I do not.
Mr. Smith, Judge, I'm just going to ask, I'm at your indulgence here. I'm done with my questionings. Generally in person, I'll go back to the table and ask my client if there's any additional questions that my client thinks I should ask. So I'm just going to get a thumbs up if I'm good with Mr. Smith or not. It looks like, can I just be put in just a quick breakout room to see if there's an additional question? It looks like he has something he'd like for me to ask. I'll make it really quick.
Judge, you're muted.
Thank you. Deputy, if you would join room 2, and then I'm placing you in room 2, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. I'll make it really quick.
Investigator Holmes. Investigator Holmes, can you hear me? Investigator Amir Holmes. Lieutenant Warren, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. That's Investigator Holmes.
Okay, it's not Your Honor, it's just me. Your cases were all rescheduled to the 19th. One of the attorneys had a conflict and couldn't be with us. Did you hear all of that?
Hear that now, yeah.
Okay. Are you available on that date? Do you have any conflicts?
Not at the moment. I do not.
Okay, cool. Just kind of pencil that one in, okay? There should be, I think, 1 or 2, I think, waived their cases, but everybody else is coming back on the 19th of November.
Does that include me too?
No. Yours is separate. We're still waiting on yours.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm free to go.
Okay, so you're free to go, Holmes.
Thank you.
Lieutenant Warren, you hang in there for a few minutes, okay?
All right, we're back.
And Your Honor, somebody is on here, Samsung SM something. Do you know who that is?
A witness.
I do not.
Who's witness?
Mine.
Yeah. Oops.
My witness from Mr. Noble.
Oh, okay. All right, and so he needs to go in the waiting room. All righty, go ahead and proceed, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Just 2 follow-up questions really quick, Corporal Vincent. With regards to the Bolo and that stolen vehicle, was one of the occupants confirmed as the suspect that stole that vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
So the female was identified as a white female who her description matched that of the deceased. Yes.
Okay. The Bolo, did that go out earlier that day? Before Mr. Smith's pursuit for,
Yes.
I guess, and earlier when that Bolo went out, obviously that Range Rover fled from police, which is what caused the Bolo, correct?
I do not know the answer to that. I know the Bolo went out based off of a stolen vehicle report, but I don't know that a pursuit. I did not know that a pursuit happened before that. In an incident report with Clayton County, it does state that a lieutenant was on scene and said that there had been a pursuit with that vehicle, but none of his guys were involved anymore.
Okay.
So that's, because the lieutenant arrived on scene with College Park to this crash scene and was questioned, hey, was any of you guys there? And he said, no, they discontinued in the city. So.
Understood. I appreciate it. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor, hopefully very briefly, and I'm gonna start where defense counsel left off. College Park, as far as they know, pursuit is over, correct?
Per their reports, yes.
So the sergeant didn't call dispatch or anything to indicate, hey, I'm still following this stolen vehicle.
No.
And as far as they know, he wasn't involved in it at all.
As far as I know, and as far as the video, there is no notification period of a pursuit. Yes, and the again, College Park Police Department says they have no recollection of this chase happening either.
Okay. Now,
Or record or
defense
anything.
counsel did ask a question regarding the oath, and I want to follow up on that. Was
Mhm.
College Park able to confirm that the sergeant violated the terms of their oath of office to you?
College Park Police Department gave me these charges. They said, hey, we want him prosecuted. These are the charges that we want you to handle. Do you think that these charges are appropriate? Again, they just brought me in to look at a video and said, hey, we think he needs to be charged with this, this, and this. And they asked me to handle it. So then
Okay.
I took those to the DA's office, and they were in agreement.
And those included the violation of oath of office that he took with College Park Police.
That was one of the biggest ones that College Park Police Department was emphasizing.
And I think I might have asked this next one before, and I don't recall the answer. And I know defense counsel asked about it again. This is regarding the mislabeling of the video. What was the video labeled as?
I don't have that answer, unfortunately. The Major Marcus Denard was Sergeant Smith's boss, his command staff.
Okay.
He just advised me that the video was not labeled appropriately, and it took him forever to find it because it wasn't labeled appropriately. And he made it seem as if it was disguised or covered up, with the way it was labeled.
But when you received it, it had been corrected? The
No,
labeling?
ma'am. So there is no labeling on it when I received it. So what I mean by labeling is whenever GSP, and this is the only knowledge that I have, whenever GSP gets into an event where that camera is activated, once you hit the stop button on your camera, it gives you an option of things to choose to label that particular video. So, for instance, we can label it pursuit, accident, investigation, perhaps theirs may say domestic, or, accidental recording, something like that. You can label those videos in that manner. Well, according to Sergeant Major Denard, the video was not labeled in a way that was that
To
matched.
tell you what it really was?
Yes, it was mislabeled, and he made it seem, and again, this is just from our interview that day with the command staff, he made it as if the video was trying to be concealed.
Okay. And last question, I believe there was some discussion of speeds. Do you know what speed he was traveling? Could you tell what speeds he was traveling at?
Yes, so 115 plus miles an hour without any emergency equipment on.
And this is why he was in pursuit of the Range Rover?
So while he was in pursuit with just a blue light, he was around the same speeds. But when he discontinued the pursuit, turned his equipment off, he again increased his speeds to 115 plus.
So he's just out there flying?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that speed noted in any type of way on the video? I know it can be on GSP videos. It'll show speed. Is that notated on video in any way?
It is.
Okay. And when I say noted, I mean the actual speed that the vehicle is traveling as the video is recording.
It is.
Okay. I think that's all I have regarding for redirect.
Okay. All righty. Any further witnesses, ADA Thomas?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All righty. And so, Attorney Rafus, do you have any evidence or witnesses?
No evidence or witnesses, Judge, just argument.
All right, closing arguments, ADA Thomas?
I'll reserve to the end, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. I'm not gonna, the reckless driving will submit on, based on the testimony that there was at one point, there was no lights or audible sounds. So we'll submit on that. The only issues I have in this case, it's really comes down to the way the case happened. It's interesting to see how the state ends up indicting it. Is the arrest warrants for hit and run and for vehicular homicide based on that hit and run and failure to report. The problem I have with it is the 40- 6-270, the hit and run statute, it says that the driver of any vehicle involved in an accident, and even the title of the statute, hit and run, duty of driver to stop or at or return to scene of accident. The statute is meant for people that we think of that, you know, at an intersection run into each other, that they stop, exchange information. In fact, the statute even gives out the ways that the information you're supposed to provide. And so we don't have that in this case. It's not really an accident that involved, directly speaking, Sergeant Smith at the time. So that's the issue I have. I mean, it comes down, it's that simple as far as, was there an accident that Mr. Smith was involved in, the way the statute is meant to be read, as far as a hit and run. There was no contact by Mr. Smith in this case. And that goes directly to the vehicular homicide, because that was the predicate offense as well. And so, I mean, that's my main argument in this case is, I don't know if it was charged correctly in that way, just because there was no direct impact, no accident, no hit and run, so to speak, by Mr. Smith. As far as the violation of oath, I mean, that's just a brief one. Just to make the couple sentence argument, I don't know, we have no proof of what the oath was. There's been no documents presented, no evidence or testimony about what that oath was and whether or not that included any of the violations they allege. And so that's it. I know generally speaking, if you get hit with a felony as an officer, you're going to get hit with the violation of oath. So I'll just make that one quick. But my real problem is with the accident portion of my argument.
Okay, all righty. Go ahead, ADA Thomas.
Your Honor, I'm going to make this really brief, and I'm going to start where, again, defense counsel has just left off, and that's regarding the hit and run portion, Your Honor. Your Honor, if you cause the accident, that's the hit part. In this particular case, we have an officer who is traveling at an excessive rate of speed. I believe at points the trooper indicated he was at 115 miles plus. This vehicle, right or wrong, is being pursued by this officer with blue lights activated. He precipitated this accident. And just like any other hit and run, you cause an accident, you stop, you try to render aid, that's a defense of sorts. In this particular case, we have an unauthorized chase. We have an officer who precipitates an accident, causing this vehicle to leave the road, the vehicle to strike an object, both occupants, driver and passenger, ejected. And as a result of being ejected, they end up dead. This officer did not bother to stop at any point in time. In fact, I believe the trooper indicated that he could be heard over the video laughing. Then he proceeds to cut off another vehicle, a transfer truck, by the grace of God, does not cause an accident at this time before he proceeds on to wherever it is he's going. Your Honor, we do have a clear hit and run in this particular scenario, and which leads to the violation of oath of office, because he did not stop to render aid at any point to those individuals who are left possibly dying, possibly already deceased at the scene. So state will contend at this point in time, the trooper has presented more than sufficient evidence for this case in its entirety to be bound over to the Superior Court. And as far as, oh, Your Honor, I did leave off one part, the violation of oath. His agency reviewed the information. They submitted it to GSP for review. The agency that did, in fact, administer his oath to him when he was sworn in as an officer with College Park Police Department. If they did not feel that he did not violate their oath as administered to him, I don't believe that particular charge would have been submitted for review to the trooper and then to a senior ADA with our office. So again, I do believe we have more than sufficient information on the violation of oath of office and on the hit and run charges, Your Honor, so that the case in its entirety should be transferred to the Superior Court.
All right. All right, I think it's clear that gonna bind over, I do find sufficient probable cause for the reckless driving, the violation of the oath, failure to make a report. As counsel indicated, there was some hesitation on the hit and run and the homicide by vehicle. On the hit and run, the statute specifically reads that the driver of any vehicle involved in an accident resulting in an injury or death shall immediately stop. I think the important word here is involved. And so although his vehicle did not collide with the victim's vehicle, I still believe it was involved. So I do find that there is sufficient probable cause to bind over the hit and run. And then the homicide by vehicle, any person that causes the death of another, causes an accident which causes the death of another person. So now the important word here is causes the accident. And so probable cause is a very low threshold. And so, but for the defendant pursuing this car, one could presume that the car would not have been fleeing because he wouldn't have anything to flee from or anyone to flee from. As a result of this unauthorized pursuit, it caused this car to start fleeing and then inevitably gets into an accident that causes the death of the occupants. So I do find it is sufficient to bind over both the hit and run and the homicide by vehicle. So all the charges shall be bound over to the Superior Court of Clayton County. That's the order of the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Trooper, you're free to go, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Trooper, can you do me a favor?
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to email me a copy of that report, okay? I'm gonna attach it to what I have.
Oh, you're talking about the case file?
Yeah, I
I'm
just need to
still-
attach it to mine.
I'm still waiting on it to be approved by my supervisor, but it is in the finishing stages, so it may be a week or so.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
What is your email?
Judge, are we still online? Are we still live?
Yes, we're still live.
Can we
Can
come
put
on?
it in the chat.
Yeah, I can do that. Trooper, you're free to go. After I'm gonna put it in chat and then you're free to go.
Thank
you. Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to run to the printer.